Assalamu alaikum. How are you all this evening? It's probably a good way to start any kind of session to find out how the others do it. I really don't have much more to add to what Malik has said, but I would like to begin whatever I say by praising Almighty God Allah. In Alhamdulillah. I think we should all begin always by praising the Creator, the Sustainer of the universe, our God. So all of us say Alhamdulillah. So you can say that with other people. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala ashraf al-anbiya wa al-mursaleen Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsan ila yawm. I hope that we are among those who Allah considers as amongst those who are following this man that we call our Prophet and our leader Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Maybe I will begin, inshallah, on the coattails of my beloved and respected sister who I've known for a number of years, by making mention of a verse from the Quran that I quite often use for when I'm doing marriages. And I think that the verse contains enough information for us to utilize, not only to begin the marriage, but also to continue the marriage. And it begins like this: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة إن في ذلك آيات لقوم يتفكرون صدق الله العظيم. Surely, Allah says this now, He says, surely there is a sign for the fact that He has created from your own selves mates so that you could dwell with them in peace. That it's kind of understood, so that you could live with her or him. And I'm going to tell you why I say that, in peace and tranquility. And He has put love and mercy between the two of you. Surely in that are signs for people who reflect. Now, quite often, when we see litaskunu ilayha, we think, well, that's a man, and that's ilayha means, with her. But in actuality, if we look at a verse from the Quran, the very first of Surah Al-Nisa, and I have it right here, let me read it for you. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة. Now, the word nafs is feminine. The Arabic speaking brothers can tell me, it's my scholars out there in the audience. This nafs wahida gives a clear indication that when you say خلق منها زوجها, then you're created from the same soul, then your mate can be either male or female. Because when you're thinking, a lot of times people like to masculinize, I guess the word would be, this whole affair of being men. But in actuality, we cannot make, the soul is not masculine. In the Arabic language, it's feminine. And you and I have been created from the same soul. The females. I'm turning over there because in a way I'm talking to them to let them know and give them the position of equality with men. I just have more muscles than you. But how I use the muscle either makes me raise up in society and in the eyes of God, or it demeans me. And the reason that I've been given physical abilities is to defend you, or to lift that refrigerator or that bag that you can't, or to defend you while you're having my children, while you're continuing our species. And quite often we men, we don't realize why we've been given extra strength and ability and biological stability. So we can do the job of being men. That men are the friends and the protectors and the maintainers of women. And we've been given biological stability and more physical strength to do a job. So when you read the Quran and it says, I say to you, I'm talking to you now, do your job. If men are the friends and the maintainers and the protectors of women, then something's wrong. Because we men, and I'm speaking for disbelieving and believing men, have not done our job. Because I'm certain that women didn't start World War II. And women didn't prosecute the Atlantic slave trade against Africans. It was men. And all the evil that's going on in the world today are your responsibility. And why? Because our job as men is to be the maintainers and the protectors of women. And that job includes keeping the world in a peaceful and orderly manner. We have taken on the trust, whereas the mountains and the creation said, oh no, I don't want it. But we, being foolish and weak, took on the trust. And Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has said about the men, about we human beings, and I want to say that the trust belongs to the women as well as it does to the men. كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةً أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ. You are the best of people raised to the good of mankind. تَمَرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. That you are the best of people raised to the good of mankind. You were supposed to be anyway. We uphold and maintain all that is good. We forbid what is wrong. And we believe in Allah. And if we've been given this title, I guess it's been given to us, that we're the best of humanity, something's severely wrong. You know, the very first component of human civilization, society, is the family. It's true, huh? This is where, how many of you have a mother and a father? Raise your hands. I said, how many of you have a mother? Come on now, everybody has to raise their hand. That's how you got here. I see some people like, they're trying to figure out what that means. How many of you have a mother and a father? Raise your hands, everybody. Stop acting like you don't understand English. Everybody here, even if you're an orphan or a bastard, you still had a mother and a father. And that mother and father, quite often, like my sister was pointing out, sometimes are not the best of people. I mean, this is the way it is. I was raised just by my mother. And what she did for me, and she couldn't make me a man. So, well, it really wasn't her job. I had to go out and try to find it. I had to find my manhood. Spent a few years too long doing that. But Allah promised me that He would guide me if I believed in Him. And I believed in Him and He guided me. And I feel I'm more of a man certainly now at 67 than I was when I was 32, 33. And that all became because I was nurtured by a woman who understood who God was, although she didn't have the capacity. She was Christian, but she taught me how to be a good person, have a strong character, be dutiful and respectful and honorable. And with that, then I was able to go ahead and hold myself together long enough for God to pour into me the guidance that is necessary for me to be a good human being. And yet that mother, who wasn't a Muslim, was able to do her job because it's inherent in every woman, the ability to nurture and care for, unless she has been broken by men or family situations. And I'm asking each and every one of us now that if we want to begin to change this world, and this world needs to be changed, we're going to have to look a little deeper into the situation of the family. We want to make our family, because we're the best of people raised for the good of mankind. Is that right? Who believes that? I believe that we being Muslims, having the guidance of Allah, Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, that we have just offered prayer, want to at least take on that trust of maintaining our families in a way that's going to produce, because you see, each and every one of us are not just the product of we arrived. We were nurtured and cared for in a way that enabled us to be in this room today. And that nurturing, that necessary component of education and care and love and mercy that happens early on within the first 3, 5, 7 years. Is that right, Malika? That early is when we are formed early on. You agree with that? And you say the same thing. If we can do that job, then, like myself, you will find that we will produce a new future of people, a future generation of people who will be able to change this world. And if we don't do the job of maintaining the families, because the family is the nexus, the first component of a society. People are not made without families. How many minutes are you? These people are hungry. Oh, this make like okay, listen, okay, I'm sorry anyway. I know, see, I tried to show up late just for dinner, but but they were going on I came in so late, I said, oh, they're because I'll just be able to eat, but I didn't mean to be late, but the traffic was very heavy. I want to say, probably in closing, because I want you to eat. And I don't think that what I'm saying is very, very important. It's coming from me. But if you've caught on to some of the aspects of our Islamic lives and the very necessary, the nature of doing the jobs that we have been ordained to do in this trust that we have, then the future generation of children will be better than we are. But you got to know what to do. We have, in order for this future generation of people to be better than we are, then we're going to have to follow certain precepts, concepts, ideas that God has given us. These ayat of the Quran are concepts and ideas for formation of society and the development and cultivation of individuals. Okay? Allah Ta'ala told the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu inna arsalnaka shahidan wa mubashiran wa nadhiran wa da'ikum ila Allah bi'idhnihi wa sirajan munir. Now, if you can understand these few verses, I think it's in Surah Al-Ashab, 48 verse, something like that. God is telling us that He's given the Prophet a method, a formula for himself and for the society that he was meant to lead. The first thing that you have to do is be a living example. Here's how you keep a happy home. You have to be a living example of what is right and correct, number one. Shahidan, that doesn't mean by your tongue that you're witnessing. It means that your behavior has to be reflective of what you say. And if you say, the most important thing you could ever say is, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. If you say that, then you should be a different person, if it's in your heart. But if that statement of faith that you say, and the takbir tahirima that you say in the beginning of your salah is not real, and doesn't dwell, and is not resident in your heart and evident in your behavior, then you're a liar, a hypocrite, or something. So our statement of La ilaha illallah must mean that we know who God is and that there's a behavior that has to be concomitant with that statement of faith. But if you say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, but you don't follow him, you can't be shahidan like he is. You're not following him. And that means that your wives and your families, your husbands, whatever's around you is going to be in danger. Because you're a liar and a hypocrite, and we have to change that. First step, shahidan. Second step, bashira. You have to be a bringer of good news. You know how you bring good news? By treating people well. So that when they see you, they're happy. You know the story of the man who comes home and the people run. The wife says, oh, he's back. The children say, oh, God. Huh? He's here again. I don't want that to happen. And women can be come on. They're not angels, they're human beings too. They suffer from, you guys suffer from the same stuff we got. Problems, human problems. So I want you to begin to form your lives around the Prophet's example. That he was what? Khuluqul Azim. He was the highest, noblest of character. My wife is always, challenging me with, is that what the Prophet would do? Does the Prophet do that? I go to Stop and Shop with her, and I decide that I'm going to take a few cherries and taste it. I taste. She says, that's 3. She says, that's 3. I said, what? She said, did you pay for them yet? She's like, would the Prophet eat? Would he eat the cherries without paying for them? I only took 3. That was 2 too many. The first one she let me off. The first one was for me. The second cherry was against me. Why? I didn't pay for it. So we have to be people who help to shape one another based on a standard. And that standard is who? Prophet Muhammad, right? Peace be upon him. Okay, the third thing is to be a warner. Okay, we got 1 minute. Okay.
No.
Oh, hey.
No.
You're hungry.
You're fine.
Okay, I'm sorry.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Listen, you should have started late earlier. You wouldn't have to deal with me. Okay, third thing, Nadhir. We have to warn each other about not holding fast to the La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. And the last thing we have to call people to, not to the Prophet Muhammad, call people to God. When I came to Boston and went to New York to find Islam, and my wife came to Boston, we like ships passing in the night or day, I don't know what that was. She said that she was looking for God. So if you have an understanding of who Allah is, and you want to please Him, it will change who you are. I'm not talking about a relationship with Islam as a religion, although it is the path, but an inner sense of who God is and that He is real. This is why we say that in the famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that there's Islam and there's Iman and there's Ihsan. Ihsan is that where God consciousness lives. And if you have that, you will be different. And the last thing is to be Siraj Munir. You have to, and that is self-respect, that you want to be a glowing lamp of light to your children, to make them, to want to let them smile when they see you, for your wife to be happy when she sees you. And you want to do the same thing, to be a glowing lamp of light, not only to God, but to your husband, so that when he sees you, he's happy. So I'm going to give you one last thing to do. Learn how to smile. Though your heart is breaking, smile even though it's aching. Learn how to smile. Because it is a welcoming door to you. And people don't want to see people frown. So try smiling more, and it'll be easier for you if you remember that Allah loves you. And the one that you're smiling at probably loves you as well. I ask Allah to guide us all to the best of this life and lives, to overlook our shortcomings, to have mercy on us, and to include us amongst the righteous. Let us be righteous. This is a new year today. I want all of you, in closing, I want you all to take a covenant with Allah, make a promise that you will be better in this new year. And it's two more things, and I'm through. Don't give me the cane. In that ayah that I used in the beginning, it said, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Do you know that love can die without these three things? And the thing that she said. Now, how does love die? Love and mercy die when you don't have the fear of God, you don't have patience. Write it down, because that if I want you to write it down. Taqwa, sabra, and shukr, and communication. Okay? Because love and mercy are like the spines of a book. If you leave it under the wrong conditions, it dries and the pages fall out the book. But usually what they do with books, they try to put them in a place where the conditions are so that the book stays in the right condition. You have to maintain love and mercy. Surely in this is signs for people to reflect. Do not think that love and mercy is not going to live like a plant. You have to water it, you have to put it in the sunshine. Now the sunshine for love and mercy is that you fear God, have taqwa. The second thing is what? Patience. Sabr. The third thing, gratefulness. And if you don't have these three things, your love and mercy will die. Reflect on that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Quli qawli astaghfirullah wa atubu. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Rabbana ighfir lana sabra wa thabbit aqdamana wansurna ala qawmil kafirin wa atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. Takbir!